what was the main challenges for you compared to...
À ce moment-là dans la vidéo, personne ne sait où est-ce que je suis, pourquoi je suis là, et qu'est-ce que je vais découvrir.
Ok, c'est parfait.
We talk a lot about Amazon, so if we don't talk about it, I think then they can just say, oh, okay, it's a video promotion. And...
Hey, ah, je suis sur le cul. C'est bon.
Labels blowing up my line and got me missing calls. Told her you ain't gotta hit me till you licking. Feel like ZVF, baby, I be cooler than the mink weather. Make a Coke bottle, give me brain till I think better. Back up on my again, hanging out with Benjamin. Franklin got me stankin' in the...
Il est 6h10, je viens d'arriver à l'aéroport de LaGuardia, direction Toronto depuis New York pour découvrir un produit qui n'est pas encore dispo. Il arrive fin avril et j'en ai encore jamais parlé sur la chaîne, c'est une première pour moi. Pardon, mais c'est la première fois que je vois ça dans un aéroport. Il y a une projection sur des filets d'eau qui passent derrière moi. Ça sert à rien mais c'est beau, c'est pas dégueu hein. Il y a tous les projecteurs qui sont au-dessus. C'est complètement, enfin l'image est stitchée donc c'est en 360 degrés puisque tu as différents projecteurs qui projettent tous une image différente pour en faire qu'une seule à la fin. T'as l'impression d'être à Walt Disney avec la projection sur le château. Franchement c'est cool, c'est bien fait. Je vais pouvoir essayer, je l'ai demandé là, ils sont à l'aéroport, les nouveaux écouteurs de Bose, ceux qui se clippent. Like this? Wow, it's weird. Ok. Donc en fait t'as le son qui va être directement poussé dans mon oreille, mais c'est très ouvert. J'ai l'impression d'avoir plus une boucle d'oreille que des écouteurs. Waouh, c'est tellement... C'est super perturbant, j'ai l'impression qu'il y a quelqu'un qui me chuchote à l'oreille là. C'est trop bizarre de pas avoir un truc dans l'oreille. Je suis trop content de les essayer, je pensais pas les avoir dans le vlog, mais je me suis dit vas-y ils sont là, je teste. Ah je suis sur le cul. C'est bon. Ah c'est super agréable et surtout ça bougera jamais quoi. Vu qu'ils sont clippés, j'ai l'impression que je peux faire 40 bornes avec. Crazy. Do you want to try it? Je vais demander de l'essayer quand même pour qu'on ait un avis qui ne soit pas biaisé par un fan d'innovation quand même. Parce que moi à chaque fois que tu me donnes un truc nouveau dans les mains, je suis surexcité. Mais je trouve ça vraiment bon.
It's interesting, yeah. Wow, this is nice. I like it.
I'm on the mezzanine, I go so hard just to fuck up my enemies. Don't need revenge, success is the remedy. Ain't for the top, I'ma do them like Kennedy. Mixing champagne with their Hennessy, they falling off, all these niggas is winning leads. Life gave me limits, I came out with simply. Look, I don't associate, no we can't congregate. Focus like number 8, watch this. If it didn't move out the trauma, my therapist healing it, know that you feeling it, I'm just too weird with this, came with the bass and I'm slapping you niggas, I feel like I'm willing this, look, look at the kill them all at the top.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
René?
René, oui. Ça va? Oui, moi aussi.
René, il faut que je t'avoue quelque chose.
Oui.
À ce moment-là dans la vidéo, personne ne sait où est-ce que je suis, pourquoi je suis là, et qu'est-ce que je vais découvrir.
On est au siège social de Rakuten Kobo au centre-ville à Toronto. Et puis aujourd'hui, on va garder à nos nouvelles liseuses couleur avec Romain. Et puis quelques gens de l'équipe à Kobo ici.
J'ai avec moi du coup la Kobo Clara qui est juste ici, qui est la première liseuse électronique en couleur de la marque Kobo. Et ici, la Kobo Libra, qui est la liseuse électronique un peu plus imposante, avec un écran plus grand, surtout un stylet pour pouvoir prendre des notes et faire plein d'autres choses que les ingénieurs vont pouvoir nous expliquer ici durant la journée.
Et pour ceux qui découvrent la technologie de l'encre numérique dans cette vidéo, il faut tout simplement imaginer des millions de petites capsules qui réagissent à un courant électrique. Ça consomme évidemment beaucoup moins d'énergie qu'un écran LED et surtout, c'est pas du tout intercepté de la même manière par notre cerveau, c'est beaucoup moins fatigant puisqu'on n'a absolument pas de rétroéclairage dans la gueule. C'est ce courant qui permet à la surface de changer de couleur pour passer du noir au blanc. Pour la technologie qu'embarquent les tout derniers écrans e-ink, la société qui fabrique ces écrans-là et qui travaille avec Kobo, pour pouvoir créer ces deux tablettes en couleur, c'est un peu plus complexe et on voit ça avec les ingénieurs.
But one of the actually like interesting thing that we were like really focusing on with the color device is, you know, the color saturation, as he briefly mentioned. It's not LCD display. It's definitely different. It's more for the eye comfort and like all this stuff. So as a designer, what I was really trying is like to make the right balance between like the contrast and like hue and those kind of stuff comparing to LCD display, or like even like comparing to the like paper. That was really like cool, interesting stuff that we were doing. You guys all remember like when the cell phone was only black and white, black and that's it, the greenish.
I remember. I'm not sure about my subscriber.
Yeah.
Depends when they was born, but
yeah, and you remember when first like the first color screen like for the cell phone was introduced, everyone was so crazy about super like simple game. So yeah, even that like that example, yeah, people are crazy about color. So for sure they're gonna be happy.
The light actually is emanating behind the screen, right? But for e-ink screens, as you can see, like the device is not on, but you can still see it. So the way it works is we have a front light on top of it. So in the past, the front light technology wasn't up to the standard where it can actually increase the contrast or make the color vibrant. With the new culminated front light that we partnered with e-ink to develop and make sure that it is on par, when I turn on the display, you will see that the colors actually pop to a level that it makes sense. Like it's not super saturated.
What was the main challenges for you compared to only black and white e-reader?
Yeah, so main challenges, like as I mentioned, was like, the not as a strong hue as the LCD screen and some other displays. That was the for sure challenge. But for the customer perspective, for sure there was definitely different point of view, because right now the colors are available, so people are gonna look for more different content which was not really available in the black and white, such as comic books in full colors, or maybe cookbooks, all those kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, imagine that you're reading your cookbook, you're looking at your cookbook, and instead of seeing it all gray or white, black, you see all
you don't want to cook.
What we had to do was we had to point out okay, what kind of benefit user might find from the color screen. So we had to literally research all of those different perspectives, and then based on that we made a decision what kind of feature we are bringing and what we are enhancing from the one that we already have. So the reason why we have those buttons is that we are caring about our readers. We are a reading company. We are book company. So what book readers care the most is about turning the page. I know that touch is really great, it looks more aesthetic, it could be, but when it comes to the turning, there might be some situation where users are not really able to touch the screen. Maybe in the winter, here in Toronto, it's really cold, people are wearing gloves, touch wouldn't really work.
Good excuse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With the stylus, you can draw on it. You can also star this. This paragraph makes sense. I want to do this, right? And then with our stylus, we have the highlighter button.
And the e-reader recognize the page you have bookmark or draw on it?
Yep.
Okay.
Everything is synced into our cloud system. So if you have an Android phone, same book, you log into the same Kobo account, all of this stuff will appear on your iPad, for example. Basically, you can draw directly on the book.
And this is not possible with Amazon.
And it is not possible on Amazon.
Okay.
And also another thing that we were trying to do is that, in the physical book, people are directly making the line, making the circle, highlight directly on the top of the text. That's what we were trying to mimic as well, just like a physical book.
Take place on moving with the mission, had to cancel out the clutter. Quarantine clean, two-stepping in the gutter. Throw them foes up.
Tu es directeur de la communication chez Rakuten Kobo. Comment est-ce que tu prépares tes équipes quand ton premier concurrent, c'est un géant qui s'appelle Amazon?
Oui. Alors, nous, avec Amazon, on n'essaie pas trop de nous comparer avec eux. Ce que je peux te dire, c'est que nous, on sort avec des features qui sont avant notre concurrent principal.
Ce qu'il faut savoir, c'est qu'à l'origine, Kobo, ça s'appelait Short Cover. C'était en février 2009 que ça a été lancé par la librairie canadienne ici à Toronto qui s'appelait Indigo Books and Music, et ensuite c'est devenu Kobo en décembre 2009 avant d'être racheté en 2012 par Rakuten.
Là c'est l'heure, je vais pouvoir rencontrer Ramesh Manta qui est le senior vice-président des produits chez Kobo. On va pouvoir échanger ensemble pour comprendre un petit peu mieux la vision globale aussi d'une marque comme Kobo.
What's the main challenges you had to face considering the color right now in e-readers?
So e-readers have been black and white for a long time. We've been interested in bringing color to e-readers almost since day one, since our first e-readers 12, 13 years ago. but the technology hasn't been ready. So what we've been really looking for is a way to bring a good color experience and an affordable color experience to not just a premium expensive device, but to our mainstream devices. We finally get to the point where we thought the technology is ready, it's good enough, and it has good value so that we can use it for our devices.
Yeah, so, because you weren't the first one.
No, we weren't the first one. There's a few other competitors. There's been color e-paper from e-ink for a few years.
You don't have any exclusivity with e-ink?
Nope, no we don't, no we don't. So e-ink has been making color screens for a few years. Their name for the current generation is called Kaleido.
Yeah.
It's a particular type of color technology, and we're using Kaleido 3, which of course means there was Kaleido 2 and Kaleido 1. And when we looked at those technologies, there was really two issues. One was they just didn't look good enough. There was too much of a compromise between color and other features of the screen. And frankly, it was also very expensive. If you look at the earlier color products that are out there, you pay quite a bit more to get color versus the same size black and white device.
And if we're thinking with the color, the e-reader are more attractive, do you think your clients can spend more time on it?
That's definitely what we hope for, and we think they will for a few different reasons. One is, overall, it's just a nicer experience, whether you're looking at the color book covers in the store, but even within the book itself, one of the things we know a lot of our customers like to do is highlight. They like to, whether they're doing research or maybe they even just are in a book club and there's a particularly memorable passage in a book, and so they want to highlight it. And one of the things that I can say for sure is, in the world of print books and physical highlighters, no one owns a gray highlighter. Yet up until now, the only way to highlight on an e-reader was gray. So even something as simple as colored highlighting is a much better experience. So we think that'll make people want to spend more time with our devices.
The time the clients spend is the main competition?
I mean, we think about both because, as a book company, and we sell e-readers, and we also are a bookseller. We sell the books you read on the e-reader. We know that we're competing with other digital reading options like Kindle or like digital reading and then print in general for books overall. But even there, that's just a small part of the competition for time. One of the only things, there's only 24 hours in a day. People have only so much time to spend on all the different activities that they might do. So you're competing with TikTok, you're competing with Netflix, you're competing with gaming. You're also competing with playing football or going to the bar with your friends. So there's just a fixed amount of time that we're competing with, and so that makes it a big challenge. The good news for us is that when we look at the data over the last, say, 5-10 years, we actually see that reading has maintained its share of time. I was looking at some research. It's from the United States, but it's actually really good research that looks at the amount of time people spend on all these different activities. And the average amount of time spent per reading, it's gone down a bit in the last 10 years, but not very much. And interestingly, it's actually gone up amongst some of the younger generations, like your age. So that's encouraging to us because it means that even with all of the technology changes over the last 10 years, people are actually still reading books.
Because for me, it's an important point. When our competitor's name is Amazon, what can we do to stand out from the crowd?
I think for us, more than anything else, it's less about thinking how we compare to them than simply thinking about our customers, our readers, and being very focused on them, constantly thinking about what we can do to, our vision statement at Kobo is making reading lives better. And so that's our focus, and everything we do is about that. Kind of what I mentioned earlier is it's not everyone's focus. And so other players out there might have a lot of other priorities, and reading and e-readers might be just one small part of their business. And so for us, it's everything. So I think because of that, we're naturally going to have an advantage and be able to build better products.
Yeah, and is it an advantage to have Amazon like a competitor, considering the promotion about the e-readers and the adoption?
I mean, I think it's certainly helpful because with any technology, there's kind of two things you're trying to do from a marketing and publicity point of view. You want people to understand the category. So especially like if you're making electric cars and no one knows what an electric car is, any knowledge that the widespread consumer gains about electric cars is good for you. So that's the category awareness, and certainly having a very large player out there helps with that. So in that sense, it's to our advantage. The other advantage, the other good thing about it is it forces us to be innovative. We can't be lazy. If we're lazy, we're dead. So being forced to compete, being forced to be the first one who brings new technology to market helps us, because then we just have to be our best.
Labels blowing up my line and got me missing calls. Told her you ain't gotta hit me till you licking. Feel like ZVF, baby, I be cooler than the mink weather. Make a Coke bottle, give me brain till I think better. Back up on my again, hanging out with Benjamin. Franklin got me stankin' in the Lincoln, talking dividends. Look at what we did again. Brought the water dipping in. Down in Texas on them elbows, where your digits been. All these I can smell it through the audio. Lapping everybody, got me working on my cardio. Party over daddy home, creeping out the caddy comb. Straight from underground, I got these Maddie on. I've been kick pushing on my grind since the pro skate. I don't do a figure that I'm